Decluttering, downsizing, why do it now? Look, may not be what you want to hear, but this is going to be the truth because if you're 55 to 62, your kids are probably gone, right? Retirement, it's approaching here. So this really is the ideal time to downsize before, while you physically can do this and before it feels overwhelming or it gets left to the family, right? Now, traditional decluttering, this is where a lot of people have problems because you got to sort everything and you got to agonize over on what to toss. And a lot of times this feels like it's just decision fatigue and you got this emotional attachment. You ever had that? Yeah. So I'm going to introduce you to something that is backwards or reverse from what everybody else talks about, is flipping it around the other way and focus on what you truly need to keep instead of what you really need to get rid of, you see? And it's a lot faster. It's gentler, and it's a lot more motivating. Now, this is called the Swedish death cleaning. Now, decluttering thoughtfully so that your loved ones don't have to deal with this, a house full of stuff later on, is actually an act of love. And I'm going to tell you something, and it actually does. Changes everything, but it's freedom for you and for everyone else as well. Now, I'm going to guarantee you one thing. Your life with less stuff is going to give you much more freedom, much more peace. It's going to give you much more time and money for that retirement that you actually want, right? So there's 5 sections here. Just stick with me to the end because this is going to be super helpful to you. I can guarantee you that. Number 1 is, what is backwards or reverse decluttering? Okay, the traditional menu here, we just pull out one item one by one, and then we look at it and decide if we want to donate it, trash it. And this actually ends up with analysis paralysis. You're trying to figure out what to do. But the backwards method is empty the space completely or imagine yourself doing so and only putting back the items that you're actually going to use or that you actually love. But here's the difference. The key question is, how am I going to use this now, or will I realistically use it in my next chapter? So focus on those yes decisions for the keepers, right? It's going to feel a lot more positive and it's going to feel more decisive with your decisions. Now, this benefits anybody who's getting ready to retire, to move, and it benefits anybody for a 55 plus or older because it's a lot less emotional drain down the road if you do it now compared to later on. It's a quicker process, and if you know where you're going, like if you're actually downsizing, you're going to have a clearer vision for what your future retirement life is going to look like. And your lifestyle, it's going to feel so much better. Now, here's a real example. You take a closet, or you take some kitchen drawers or a garage, and you pull everything out. I've done this personally myself, but you only return the favorites or the daily essentials, which leads us to the second part. Number 2 is why this is really mattering right now, your time in your 50s and 60s. Here's what's going on, guys. You're shifting from your work life to your retirement life, and it's a different shift here. You're going from a big family home mode to an easy, low maintenance living. You don't want your stuff to overtake you, right? There's these physical realities. We're all going to have less energy for heavy cleaning later on and for maintenance that we need to do on our old house, right? And so maybe you're even moving into a one-level living space or a smaller space, and it's often better. And some people move to warmer climates with less taxes. And again, this all feels overwhelming when you think about it, but it's refreshing when you check it off and you get it done. And there's also financial wins here, guys, because you can sell items. And I've done this before. I've had stuff in storage that I paid monthly. I don't know if you guys are doing that. Let me know if you are. But then, you never see it. You never use it. So if you reduce those storage costs and you have lower utilities and taxes and insurance and all this stuff on a smaller home, rather than having that big home that's just taking care of your stuff, it's just housing it, right? There's this emotional freedom that comes with that because you're going to stop maintaining your stuff that you don't need or you don't use. Your memories, believe me, are going to live in your heart. They're going to live in your photos, and you're going to have these good memories. If you're not using it and you're not looking at it and it's piled under a bunch of stuff, it's not where your memories live. Those memories are here. Trust me. Now, if you have a family gift, do me a favor. This is the biggest family gift that you can possibly have. Spare your adult children or your family members the burden of sorting through decades and decades of accumulation. I have had to do this for family members, and I'm going to tell you, it is freeing. if you do this, which leads us to step number 3 here, is the step-by-step backwards decluttering process, what you can do about it. Now, I know a lot of people, they get overwhelmed by everything, but look, start small and start early. Take one drawer, right? Or one shelf or one category. If you have books, for instance, or let's say clothes, you want to go in your closet, or let's say paperwork, you got that mountain of paperwork. Once you get one little thing done, I'm going to tell you, it does build momentum here. Then when you've done this, the next step is there's this room by room strategy. You just start with the easy areas. The bathroom's probably the easiest area, right? Or like a linen closet, linens, all right? Is there stuff that you're not using or you're never going to use again? Or how about kitchen gadgets? I mean, I've got stuff that I threw out that was actually broken or halfway or doubles that I had. This is the easy stuff to get rid of because if you're not using it, pitch it. But the stuff that really is harder to move, I'm going to tell you, is the photos and sentimental items and your hobbies. So those are probably the 3 biggest things to move. But how you get through this is there's a 4-box system. Now, you want to emphasize here on what your keepers are, right? This is only what's going to fit your future life because your other life, you're retiring now, has changed, right? So keep what you're going to need in your future life. If you're moving, you're going to need certain things. If you're just sitting there, you're probably not using half of the stuff that you have in your house, right? So think about this. Donate or sell the stuff that you're not going to use in your future life. Then trash and recycle the trash and recycle stuff. And maybe if you have storage, you want to limit this box that you're going to have in there. Like I'm going to have a closet and I'm going to put all my memories in that closet when I move to my next new house. And that's all I'm going to give myself. So I got to limit the amount of stuff that I'm going to put in that area. And does that make any sense? Okay. So the death cleaning mindset, these are questions you want to think about. Like, would my kids want this? Or would they fight over this? Okay, here's another question. Does this spark joy today for my current life stage? Or is this something that's just a memory and it's not doing anything for me? Or if I died tomorrow, would this be a burden? Because that's not what you want. I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes it's good to see your kids actually enjoy the things and you've passed them on and they can enjoy it and you can enjoy it at the same time. So you want to measure what your future is going to look like. So just if you can imagine if you're moving to a future space or you're staying in your house, what's your future space going to look like? If you need to get your house all on one level, you need to do this. Otherwise, your stuff will eat you alive. So get your floor plans or your measurements of that potential new home first, and then only keep what's physically going to fit in that area, which leads us to section 4 here is the downsizing for retirement. And these are your practical tips because there's going to be other things that are going to come into play that you may not have thought about. So think about what your why is. When you're retiring, your life is going to change. If you're able and you're financially able to do this and physically able, are you going to travel? How about your hobbies? What are you going to do? Or are you going to move from where you are now to a warmer climate? Or are you going to move to be closer to grandkids? Or are you going to move to have lower maintenance because your house is older and it's not conducive to your current lifestyle, right? So think about this. Take an inventory, span around the room, take everything in, because photos are going to help you with those sentimental items. And you can digitize this or scan documents, and that stuff will keep with you and you can go look at them all day long, right? But then you want to strategize selling and do this strategically. Just don't do it all at once. It's not going to happen all in one day, guys. You're going to have yard sales, garage sales, maybe multiples. I've done this before myself when moving, and when I was cleaning out my parents' house, we did this with multiple garage sales. We had online marketplaces. We had some people even go the full estate sale services, right? They just do it all at one time. But you still have to figure out what you're going to keep and what you need to get rid of. If you're thinking about a 55 plus community, this is a whole new lifestyle. So there's this built-in social life. This is the thing you need to think about. You're not going to be doing that yard work anymore. You're not going to be doing the old stuff. So you're not probably going to need all that current stuff that you have. And certainly, if you're moving to a warm weather climate, you're going to get rid of that snow shovel and snow blower and all that stuff, right? The gloves, the hats, you probably won't need that. But look, you want to do this way ahead of when you are thinking about doing this. This is why this window of 55 to 62 is so important. Your timeline It's going to take time. So you want to start a year or 2 years before that move, because I'm going to tell you, it always takes a lot longer than you think it did. So this is going to give you plenty of time to process all these emotions. By the end of this process, I can guarantee you're probably not going to be as attached to some things as you thought you would have been, which gives us number 5 here, the life without so much stuff. And it's the freedom payoff. Think about your life, your house, all your stuff right now that you have and that you're dealing with. And think about how refreshing it would be to have more time, less cleaning, less organizing, and having to fix and shop and store and all this kind of stuff. You're going to have more money. You're going to get lower bills and cash from actually selling these things for your travel or your hobbies or anything else. And you're also going to have more experiences. Your stuff is not controlling you. You're controlling your life, right? It's the relationships. It's your health. If you're hoarding and you're bringing all this stuff in, your health is probably not as good as it could be if you were out enjoying the adventures instead of enjoying or being closed in by possessions, right? So I'm not saying go minimalism here, guys, but I'm going to tell you that some people who in retirement, they have sold everything and they're traveling, right? But there is a thing about minimalism in retirement, and people who have sold everything, they do travel lighter and they do feel liberated. It's like you've just gone on a diet and you feel 100 pounds lighter, right? It's not like you're going to deprive yourself of any kind of a fun thing or you're going to have this guilt about what you did or didn't do. It's the intention of living your best years, not your stuff's best years, right? Because if you pass this on, think about this. You want to pass it on to someone else who can enjoy it as much as you did at one time, because everybody's life changes. At one time, there are different priorities. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to challenge you guys. I'm going to challenge you to pick one small space this week and then try backwards decluttering. Let me know how it goes. I want to know how you're doing. I know I've had other videos here on this channel. I hope they're helping because that's why I do these videos. But look at your retirement time is your time. Don't let the stuff own you. You want to own your life. Your life is not about your stuff. Your life is about your life. Right? So I'm encouraging you here to share your progress in the comments. Let me know if you've ever tried any of this before, if you are having issues, what you've dealt with, and anything that you've done in retirement to simplify your life. Go ahead and put it in the comments because I want to know what's going on with you. And here's my final thought. Your best inheritance that you can leave is a lighter load. We came into the world with nothing and we're probably going to leave with not much either. But it's really the best gift to give yourself right now is freedom. So I hope you're enjoying these videos here on this channel. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, let me know. Put them in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video if you subscribe. Take care, guys.